Testing. Hello? Okay.
Meeting is now called to order. Sorry. Meeting is now called to order. Um, Roll call, please. Dr. Sanders,
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Brent,
here.
Mr. Guillory, Ms. Jones, Dr. Wilson,
Present.
Mr. Crandall, Mr. Regard.
Here?
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The new business, the nature of this meeting is that we are going to review District 1 special project list for the fiscal year 26-27 as submitted by school administrators. Mr. Do I need to repeat that? Did everybody hear me? I think my voice probably projects loud enough. Okay, so that's where we are with that. We've called the meeting to order. And now, Mr. Regard, it's your turn. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you very much. Ms. Voisin is going to provide us with a financial report.
Good evening. I'd like to remind everyone that the Maintenance District 1 is comprised of two funds. Fund 11 is our maintenance fund. Fund 27 is our capital projects fund. The revenue in the maintenance fund comes mainly from property tax collections, but can also come from general fund transfers and/or capital project transfers. The revenue in the capital projects fund are only derived from transfers from either our general fund or our maintenance district fund. So as of the end of 25-26, we're projecting to have 1.1 million of a fund balance in our maintenance fund and 627,000 of a fund balance in our capital projects fund for a total of 1.7 million. If I back out our proposed $611,000, we're left with a fund balance of 1.097 million. Since our rule of thumb is to keep approximately $1 million of fund balance between the combination of the two, Maintenance District 1 is in good shape, and we will have adhered to our suggested reserve of 1 million if we spend 707,000 or less in today's meeting. I'd like to briefly explain the spreadsheet in front of you guys. The column all the way to the left with dollar values, the estimated amount is basically the wish list from all of the principals. That would be the estimated cost if we had all the money in the world, but we just talked about we have $707,000 to spend. So Mr. Regard is only going to review the items that he has quote unquote prioritized, which are either in the maintenance request section, and the dollar values in that column represent the projects that he believes can be completed within the next year. The dollar values in the capital projects request is basically saying, it's going to take me more than a year, but I'm going to set aside money to pay for these projects. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Voisin. So I think the best way to do this is to go school by school, and then at the end, we can have a vote to adopt everything. So I will start with District 1, General. Vehicle replacement funds for all district vehicles. Right now, we're in the need of 2 maintenance vehicles and 1 food service vehicle. That would be a total expense of $160,000. District 1 would be required to pay 27% of that, and y'all's balance would be $43,200 of that total. Also, mowers. Typically, we buy 1 new mower a year. It's $20,000 for these new ZTRs, and 27% of that would be $5,400. Yes, ma'am.
On the vehicle, we have a fund replacement for $160,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Just trying to see, what kind of vehicles are we talking about? Just a regular truck or something
Well,
specifically?
sometimes these are service vans that are outfitted for like all the air conditioning equipment in the back. We also have F-250s that our maintenance techs use. Then they have to outfit the back of that, truck. They take the old bed off and they put one of those work utility beds on the back. So it's not just a regular pickup truck, no ma'am.
Okay, all right.
So we buying refrigerated trucks?
No ma'am, that would be food service. We're not buying refrigerator trucks. It's for air conditioning.
Oh, air conditioning.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, concerns concerning the vehicles? It was brought to the floor by Mr. Guillory, and it was seconded by Ms. Jones. Am I correct? Yes. Okay, we can move on. Huh? I'm sorry. All in favor. Oh, all in favor. Yep. Are there any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next is St. Mary Alternative. Again, this is an all-district, so it would be 27% of the total cost for District 1. Work on parish flushing toilets when it rains. It's St. Mary Alternative. $2,500 is the estimated cost for this repair. And y'all's percentage would be 575. I'm sorry, 675. Also, we have upgrade AC for classrooms. There are 5 classrooms there, 118, 120, 122, 124, 126, at a total cost of $100,000. Y'all's percentage would be 27,000. Finally, at the bottom, under safety, new door locks so that there's a single master key. The estimated cost to rekey the school is $1,000. Y'all's estimate would be $270.
Are there any discussions, Mr. Broussard? Would you like to have a discussion concerning any of the items that you submitted? Why, Mr.?
We can use our microphones, y'all.
Yes.
Miss Ellie
Can
for
you
minutes.
please?
Hey, you can come up here.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to discuss our bus canopy. It is literally falling down around us. Every time it rains, there's pieces of rotten wood that fall. There's wasps taking up residence in there. One of our workers got stung during the week. I'm allergic. There's birds taking up residence in there that are chirping, and the walls are paper thin. We hear them all day long. So if there's any way, any possible consideration for replacing that bus canopy, I'd appreciate it. I don't want a piece of wood falling on a kid's head or any of our heads. So I'd appreciate you considering that if possible.
I have a question. So we have a estimated cost of $40,000. Is the $40,000 amount that we've been quoted for the repair or the replacement?
So, it's gonna be a repair anything that's necessary.
Have we put eyes on it, Mr. Rigard?
Yes, sir.
As far as the safety assessment of that thing, right?
It's got significant rot.
So we have that listed on the wish list column, but don't you think that it should be on the prioritized column?
But that's up to the board to decide that. If,
That's a safety issue.
yeah, that's right.
And District One's portion would be 27%, right, Ms. Wazan?
That should be
Yes,
correct.
like the rest
That's
of the
correct.
things, so 40,000.
That's right.
So it should be a third of that.
It'd be 1/3 of the 40. Or 27% of the 40, I'm sorry, not a third.
So 10,800.
What
So
is it?
y'all's portion would be $10,800 would be
Okay.
District One's portion.
Mason, you got it? Okay.
Okay,
I make the motion to approve the items that were presented in addition to the 27% of the $40,000 for the replacement or the repair of the canopy of $10,800.
I second it. Okay.
No, ma'am.
we need to go on and all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right.
Okay, going forward, this is gonna be District One schools, so the value that I'll provide to you is gonna be 100% responsibility of District One. The first area is neat outlets in the mall area. This is Franklin Senior High. Estimated cost is $2,500. Maintenance is requesting $2,500. Petrol in front of the cafe, bus parking lot near the garbage bin. Projected cost is $20,000. We're requesting the full amount, $20,000. Paint all remaining classrooms, doors to match maroon. Estimated cost, $5,000. Requesting $5,000. However, this is an allotment, which means we will go as far as we can go with this price. We try to at least complete a hall at a time, so it's not like half the hall will be painted one color and the other half will be another color, but that is an allotment. Pressure wash exterior, boys gym bleachers, rotten, need painting. Estimated cost, $18,000. I'm asking for $11,000. Factory service chillers and cooling towers, estimated cost $25,000. We're asking for $25,000. Cafeteria AC and secondary pans, estimated cost is $4,000. We're requesting $4,000. Boys gym replace electrical panels, estimated cost is $10,000, requesting $10,000. Auditorium repair sound system, cost is $1,500, requesting $1,500. A desk mover / dolly, requesting $500, estimated cost $500, requesting $500. Hot water in the food science lab, restroom in the office, estimated cost is $10,000. We are requesting $10,000. Garage doors, carpentry, meat lab need replacement. Estimated cost is $10,000. We are requesting $10,000. That concludes Franklin Senior High.
Come to the podium.
Good afternoon. I'll go with the safety, column first. Security, the security, column first. We've been requesting for our mall area to be secured, just like every other school in the district. And it's been on the, special projects for a couple of years now, and we still have not gotten that done. We have a security for the main office, but there's no way the secretary can see out of the school, so parents have to enter into the building. And there's no little slide with like a little window like every other office to see who's coming in. So parents have to come in, and then there's a security wall there. But where our kids come in the building in the morning, once they enter, they enter the entire school. There's no security wall up like every other school.
Like no divider from the entrance to the,
So
You don't have a, you
In the
have
mall
a
area.
vestibule when you come in, where you ring the doorbell? There's a vestibule right there.
over to the right where the parents come in, but the kids come into the mall area.
So you're talking about across that whole front? Okay.
And something in the front office also, because they can't, every other school, you can see the parent on the outside of the building before they even come into the building, and then there's a little area where they stay at. So we have to let them into the little holding area first. Like, you can't see them on the outside because of there's a wall up right there. Our schools is not set like the rest of the schools in the parish as far as security in the main office or the student entry.
So you asking that the main security have a window or door where you could see from the outside coming into the mall area? Okay, all right.
It's two separate security things that have to
Right,
happen.
right.
So what are you proposing, to knock out a piece of the wall and put a window up, or to build a whole nother area? Mr. Rigard, have you seen that area which she's referring to?
Okay, so,
Give me a visual of, I understand what she's saying, and I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm just wondering if that secretary's area is near an exterior wall where you can put a window in that wall to see who's coming in the entrance door. You follow me?
I do, but there are offices on that exterior wall right there. So the secretary sits a little further in. So when the parents come in, they are in a secure area, but then they have to enter a door to get to the office area where she is. That secure area they enter is not manned. There's nobody in there. So they get buzzed in, they walk through those first set of double doors, then they gotta come into the school and then enter the office area to the left. What she's requesting is a slide window that is right there next to that secondary door when they come in, before they come into the office. She wants a slide window there, so that instead of the parents or people coming from outside coming into the office area, they can talk to them through a slide window.
Right, as a primary stoppage right there where you can resolve anything you need to resolve then and there. Is that on an exterior wall or an interior wall?
An interior wall. It's an interior wall.
So that would be easier to do.
It's half cinder block on the bottom and glass on the top.
Oh, okay, so that shouldn't be
So
terrible.
they would have to, cut the glass, put a frame in there, put a sliding window, and put a little desk or something on the other side.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that clarification, Mr. Rigor.
No, sorry. And then that's the piece by the office, and then the other part is the mall area where the kids enter at. Once they step into the building, you enter the entire school. So
Is that under safety or security? Where's that at?
security.
Safety and security, for those things that I think that we're discussing, it's very important. And, go on.
So yeah, it's a safety issue and security at this, it's both.
So, Mr. Regard, you don't have an estimated cost on that line item. It just says architect needed.
That's for the large wall inside that she's requesting that goes across the entire.
The security condor for the mall area, I think, is what she's referring to. So what's the estimated cost?
I'd have to get architect involved. Yeah. I mean, if y'all approve it today, then I will go forward and get an estimated cost from you guys. But before I contact an architect, I can't get an architect to give me a price without y'all's approval.
Right, so we can make a motion to engage an architect to see what it's gonna take to put something that'll work for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to give us some options on that, whether it's I mean, naturally, we don't wanna build a whole nother 10-foot brick wall, but something that's gonna work, even if it's an 8-foot glass wall. That, I think that could be done fairly
That's at the other
easily.
schools, right?
Yeah, with aluminum struts all the way, and then thick glass to where you'd have an entryway there, badge in, badge out. That's what you're looking at? Okay. That makes
So,
perfect
Mr.
sense.
Guillory, are you making that in the form of a motion?
I'm asking how to make it, to make sure we're on the same page for what they need. That's it. I'm good.
We good?
Is that it?
Oh, which one you want, Jay? This right. I put a request to make, the road by the baseball field asphalt instead of the gravel. I'm not sure how much it costs to keep replacing the gravel on that road, but we having to replace the gravel, it looks like, every couple of months on that road by the baseball field. And I think they just replaced gravel maybe one day this week or last week. So I was requesting that it be, asphalt. There's a lot of traffic that goes on that road. Cars going to the track, the baseball field and the football field. And you guys are constantly replacing that with with gravel every couple of months. So I asked for that to be asphalt.
Which line item are you referring to, under what section, and what's the proposed cost?
Cafeteria, kitchen,
Under
border field.
cafeteria, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I see.
And we've also been putting requests for the concession stands in the boys' gym area and the football, stadium to be, reconstructed. We have.
So is that the facilities that y'all share, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to, we share, we have, since we're on the same campus and we feel like we have one facility because our students, our middle school students use the same concession stand at the football field and in the boys' gym. And it had not been renovated in I don't know how long. And, since we moved over to the new facility, we're sharing that, use of that facility. So those kids and parents go to that concession stand in the 6th grade, the 7th grade, the 8th grade, on through high school. So it's 7 years that those parents and kids use that facility, and we need to get that upgraded. And then the asphalt road, it's the same thing. We share the football field, the track, and that's why because we have been having conversation about what items could we get that would benefit both of us. Instead of double spending or duplicate spending, we want to try to figure out what could we get the best use out of that would benefit both of us. That's why I was having a conversation with Ms. Jackson about that. But those concession stands are definitely in need of upgrade in the football field, at the stadium, and in the boys' gym, and that road. And I don't know, I know Hanson participates in track, and they go up and down the road with that as well. I don't know if we share any costs with our neighboring school with that, but they use that and go to track and back and forth or whatever. So they contribute to the traffic that goes up and down that road as well. So it's not only Franklin Junior and Franklin High School that goes up and down the road and adds to the potholes. It's our neighboring parochial school does that as well. So I don't know.
And the public, they go to the track.
I don't know if they're sharing the cost or not, but just saying, just FYI, they do use it.
Ms. Lossing, do they share the cost?
Their cost share is through taxes.
Yeah, and I know they do also gift the school, or they used to, several $1,000s a year for the use of the track for some of the equipment and all. I think Hanson used to do that. I don't know if they still do or not.
No.
Okay, no worries. So how do we pay for the limestone today when we resurface that road? Any idea?
We pay for it out of the maintenance fund, district fund,
Okay, so that comes out of the maintenance fund
correct?
to resurface that road with limestone.
That's correct.
So we'd really need to get a price on what it would cost to resurface it with, blacktop, basically.
It's
It's on there.
$12,500.
About 12.5.
Okay.
How much is the limestone?
Limestone's really pretty, it's not very expensive. It's probably about $700 a load, and probably twice a year, we go dump some over there. So you're looking at $1,500 a year we're spending.
Thank you.
But it does create all that dust.
But if we get something that is a little more substantial and permanent, then that cost would not be continued twice a year. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And how long does asphalt last? Like, what's the lifetime expectancy of the other option?
all of our roads around here, you know, when they, come top them back off, they top them with asphalt, so it's very durable.
Thank
Let me ask you, for the items that we're discussing that needs to be changed over, do we have the allocated amount of funds to be able to meet that?
No, ma'am. The most that we could add that's not in either the maintenance request column or the capital request column for all the schools would be about 100,000 if you want to keep your $1 million fund balance reserve.
So I'm just thinking out loud here. What if we were to partially fund that, you know, for the next year or two, and then go into a full refurbishment of the road and the concession stands? You follow me?
Yes.
Okay. And I had a question about, patch the hole in front of the cafe bus parking lot near garage, near garbage bin, 20,000. What do we, that sounds like more than patching a hole.
So currently there's asphalt there, and the dump truck, that's where, I mean, the dump truck, the garbage truck, that's where it picks up the garbage. So those front tires have actually absolutely destroyed the asphalt that's there. It shouldn't have been asphalt from the get-go. So we're gonna come back, cut that asphalt out, and we're gonna put in a new slab of concrete right there, extra thick, so that we don't have this
So
issue
that's
again.
why it's $20,000.
That's right, because we gotta cut out that asphalt, remove it, and then put concrete in.
Okay. That's a big chunk of money right there just for that. The hot water in the food service lab and the restroom in the office, 10,000. What are we doing to get hot water? We can't just put a small on-demand hot water service if it's a,
We had
A
discussed,
bathroom?
we
I
had
mean, that-
discussed that as an option as well.
yeah,
Just putting on-demand water heaters in there.
Absolutely.
Right under the point of service.
yep. That would cut a significant amount out of that 10,000.
Well, if y'all decide to go that route, I could put that on a work order instead of having it as a line
And you'll
item
be
on
done and
special
that item will
projects.
be out.
Yes, sir.
That'll save you $10,000 for you. Well, you see what I'm getting at? I'm just
for
trying to,
something else.
Sound like you.
Yes.
yeah. I'm trying to get you your money for the, you know,
Yeah,
right.
that'll work.
Help me help you. Right.
Yes.
Doing that and trying to get where the needs are for the students and the teachers and the community that utilize those things that they're asking for, which is, to me, as I told you all earlier, is the importance of having that kind of operation spread out. So,
Yeah, if we can offset that hot water item, take that $10,000 and fund those other two items you were talking about, and we could possibly refurbish your concession stands and road next year
Right. And
by
just-
taking that 10 grand and putting it over there.
Right, and then on my allocation for Franklin Junior High School, there was a $10,000. I know we kind of.
For that as well?
No, it says, for $10,000, it says,
We'll get to that in a minute, but I got another 10,000 I want to get rid of. Hold on. Garage doors in the carpentry and meat lab need replaced.
Oh, I see.
Don't we have a VOTEC guy there that does that for a living? Why aren't we utilizing him and his kids to build this?
I'm not sure what vocational education skills they have over there. These are garage doors that they use often. They're old doors, wooden doors, and they're in horrible shape.
So it's wooden doors, it's not a fancy roll-up door.
It's a roll-up door.
Oh, it is a
With-
roll-up
with
door.
the-
That's a roll up.
Yeah. Sir,
And it's broken or,
that's falling apart.
okay. So that one we can't really use our own staff and knowledge to do that.
No, sir.
Okay. I gotta ask.
So I have a question too before we go on. Can you repeat for us, Ms. Voisin, the amounts that you gave us, what all of the maintenance requests and what they total, and then how much because we still have about 8 schools left to
I
go.
know.
Yeah.
And we're about to reach our max, and we're not even a third through the list.
Yes, ma'am. So what Mr. Regard did is, like I had said before, we'd love to give everybody every single thing that they want, but we have to narrow things down to a need and a budget that we have. Therefore, the maximum we would want to spend is on top of what he's already suggested in these two columns, which is 610,000. The maximum additional money is 96,000. So I don't know if y'all would like Mason to just kind of highlight what everybody requested and prioritize it after the fact, or how we want to go about this, but we're not going to be able to add more than 96,000 if y'all want to keep y'all $1 million fund balance.
Right, so we can't add any more to that, more than 96.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So basically,
How many
on top
schools
of
we
what's
got?
already allocated, each school, if we did it equally, is $10,600 about, in
Yes, ma'am.
addition to what's already on the list.
Yes, ma'am.
6? So 6 and the 96, what's that? I'm just trying to do it fairly. 13.
So if each principal looked at a list within a $10,000 range, if we could give each school that's here right now $10,000 on top of what's already allocated, what would you pick? Not
Pretty
really.
much. You can say.
So if you want to
You can say that's
substitute a
guaranteed.
maintenance request for something that you see being there all day long, that's a higher priority than what maintenance is recommended,
Right.
Just keep in mind, as y'all looking at your list, we have a comfort zone of only about 10 grand per school.
yes.
Anytime we get to your school, if Mr. Regard has given a price for something and you feel like there's a priority on top of that, that's when you have your opportunity at the podium to say, can we not fund this, but fund this?
Instead.
And then the board can work with you on those things. Is that what you were getting at, Ms. Rack?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what we're asking, and that's what you all are doing, am I correct? Right.
So like, for example.
She was
Mr.
asking for a
Guillory, we
lot
just
more
had
than
two
10,000.
$1,000 requests
that was
for
an option.
hot water. But if we
I like-
do the on-site little heater things, they cost like
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah, he could do
So,
that
I
with a
mean, that's
maintenance
big
request,
difference.
right. So we can take that 10 grand line item and move it over to your road and your concession stand,
Yes.
and that should help you there, right?
Minus the 500 for the home demand?
I
No,
mean,
that would come through
however
the
many-
maintenance
Maybe
budget.
take about
Yeah.
still $2,500 and allocate it to the hot water situation, and then another amount towards the road issue.
Yep.
Franklin High choices would be within this 10,000.
I say, yeah.
Because I
Y'all wanna stay with
understand
me and make
you
me
two
come
are
back?
working together. So that's junior high 10,000 and there's senior high 10,000, right? Okay, so what are the things that Franklin High would like to get done?
So you already have the 2,500 that we're moving over to that
Right.
for your security window, right? So that's new money. I'm gonna call it old money, new money. How's that? So that's new money that you're putting into the
You want
maintenance
that
request.
security.
Yes.
And you do need
want
that
that.
window, I agree, 100%.
And then I have to wait for the architect thing.
Right. And then we're gonna get the architect to see what it's gonna cost, and if he comes back, with $7,500, then you'll get that.
Did we agree to the 12,500 extra she asked for the asphalt in replace basically of the 10,000, or no?
They would take the 10 from the food lab, from the food
We
thing.
did.
Yeah, we did do that.
All right.
You took the 10,000, right? That's great.
Yeah, move that 10,000 over to fund that at some point, right?
Man,
Because we can't do it for 10 right now, can we? Yeah. Unless you can knock off some money off that $20,000 pothole fix for that garbage truck.
and then I could get these,
I'm just
this
thinking
long
out
jump
loud.
pit.
Yeah, your cement is expensive.
So I wasn't aware that we could move some of the maintenance things over. Like I see something like to paint all the classrooms, I could possibly get some, the 5,000 for the, that I have for painting the remainder of the classrooms maroon. Would I be able to move that 5,000 to get this, the the high jump mat, the things needed for the, to finish the track, because we can't host a track meet because we don't have the necessary supplies for that. We got a new track last year and sand pits, and we were not able to cover any of the sand pits, which is gonna be another safety issue. Could that be a work order for the mats for this, for the long jump pit? And I could take that 5 and purchase the high jump mat and the things we need for track.
I have
Which,
another
we are not the only school that utilizes that equipment, also. Franklin Junior will use the high jump, equipment and the stuff for the track.
So you want to say, we're not going to take $5,000 in paint. Instead, we're going to take $5,000 to get what on the track? Where's your item at?
Under safety, it says
Okay.
covers for long jump pits, new high jump mat bar,
Okay.
need padding at the end of the long jump and triple jump.
Okay, we're going to put $5,000 there
Yep.
and take it
Grab a
off of
paintbrush.
paint. Okay.
Question, how much is the paint? Because if you could just buy the paint, and I kind of heard that Ms. Jones say we can get the team to go and paint, do the actual painting if we just bought the paint.
Upper body day.
Mr. Regard, is that something that we could do? Whatever I need, like additional painting that I need done with, can we purchase the paint and I get some community service done?
Does the individual school have funds that they can use to buy the paint and then serve it and
No, it
supply
would
the
have to-
people to roll it?
I'd have to provide it from the maintenance department.
Okay, so maybe, what, $1,000 and give you 4,000 instead of the 5 and use
And
1,000 to buy the paint?
I could cover paint, rollers, tape, brushes, whatever they need for that. Yes, sir, that'd be plenty enough.
$1,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How's that sound? All right,
Sounds good.
yeah, we got a lot to get to here. Yes, we're changing her 5,000 to 4, and they're gonna paint their own doors.
Finish what she started, so, I mean, Ms. Jackson, you have the floor, finish, please.
So if Mr. Regard is able to, knock some money off of that 20,000 for the concrete area, what happens? What's the next step with that? For me to fund some other projects, if he's able to?
Well, I don't know if he can knock 20,000 off of that. That's, you talking about the pothole for the
Uh-huh.
dumpster? You gotta stick to that 20, huh?
It's 18 and some change.
Okay,
Yeah, so stick to that and, yeah,
I think I'm good.
all right. Hope you're happy.
Thank y'all.
All right.
I feel like, if y'all don't mind, I feel like we need to run through all of the changes that were made so y'all know exactly. So, do y'all mind if I call off what I had on my notes and then y'all can correct me if I missed something? Okay, so for painting all remaining red classroom doors maroon, we went from a $5,000 allotment rather to a $1,000 allotment for paint, and then we're gonna have a special project with our teams, okay? I have a question about the gym bleachers, rotten and needs to have some repairs. It's an $18,000 project, Mr. Rigor, but you put aside $11,000. We're just gonna set that aside and then work toward finishing that project? Got it. Okay. On the next,
Yes, ma'am.
it'll still be completed, Ms. Brent. And then the hot water issue, we're gonna knock that out and do a much cheaper version of that for around $500. Make asphalt road by baseball field instead of gravel. We're gonna take the 10 from the hot water project and move it down to the asphalt road and get us started with that for $10,000. Also, we moved the $5,000 out of painting, and we're gonna move that to the track that we need for the mats and the long jump pits and all that business. So that's $5,000 right there. And I think the one thing that we missed when you initially read the list, Mr. Regard, I wanna make sure it's, said publicly. For the chiller replacement fund, you have, $50,000 under capital that you wanna set aside once more for that project.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did we miss anything, y'all?
put it in the regular maintenance request item, then it has to be used this year. That's not enough to purchase what they need.
So you can't partial purchase this, it has to be the whole 15,000, basically, is what you're saying?
Well, I might be able to buy one piece of equipment, like I might be able to cover one of their sand pits and buy them one pad, but I can't purchase what they need to put on a track meet. So I could buy a mat, yeah.
And then the last thing is we are going to work towards securing an architect to look at the security measures for the front entrance in the mall. Okay?
There's a factory service chiller and cooling towers, is that different from the other one that you just, that you wanted to mention, the $50,000 one, two separate things, Mr. Regal?
Yes, one is
Yeah, one's a
replacement and
service,
one is to
yeah.
service.
Yeah.
One is like the cleaning and the servicing and the making sure it's operation is peak.
All right.
Okay. Whatever she just said, I'm making a motion that we continue. Okay, all right, I had the concession stand, water heater, the asphalt, the chiller, the painting, and, the architect. I make a motion that we move forward with it.
Motion carried. Thank you all very much, Mr. Einer, and as well as Ms. Jackson. But Mr. Einer, Mr. Einer gave up some money to help, so, so we're appreciative.
Okay, for Franklin Junior High, security window covering for front windows of school, estimated cost $5,000. We're requesting $5,000. Concession stand updating, no AC. This is the one by the basketball court. Estimated cost is $15,000. We're requesting 10. Once again, we try to utilize some of our maintenance workers to offset that additional $5,000. Repair locker room chill water pipe insulation, approximate cost $1,000. We're requesting $1,000. Factory service fresh air machines, $4,500, and we're requesting $4,500.
Good afternoon. I'll be short. Well, figuratively speaking, the $10,000 allocation for the concession stand update. I like to, again, we have one shared facility. Going forward, I'd like the maintenance committee to consider when we do allocations for Franklin Junior High School and Franklin High School for athletic facilities, then we consider that one item because we use the same concession stand, we use the same everything. So, you know, I appreciate Mr. Regal putting the 10,000. I think your intention was to help, you know, get that fixed up. But we're all the same, so I think that should go towards the the communal use of that facility. So that 10,000. I like to put towards that concession stand, and then we had conversation, I know about $10,000 above, if we can equally give an allotment to each school. So if there was an opportunity, I'd like to put that towards the concession upgrade as well. The only thing that I would request, Mr. Regal, you and I had a conversation about that, in our school, if you walk along the wall, we have sheetrock walls in our school. They put sheetrock over the cinder block. And the kids walk in the backpacks, they scrape it up, and it's just getting worn, and it's chipped, and it's kind of ugly. Mr. Regard, there's a strip right here along that wall. We kind of had looked at it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's nothing malicious these kids are doing. It's just as they're walking down the hall with their backpacks and everything, pens and pencils sticking out. If they're moving over to the side during class change, they're scraping and they're starting to gouge into that sheetrock. So what Mr. Ina was asking is if we could put some type of wainscoting. And the most cost-effective thing that we could think of is similar to what we have here, but it would have to be larger, okay? It would have to be something considerable where a backpack, like from a waist to a shoulder kind of height. And what we could do is we could take like a siding, like a wood siding, like plywood, for example, and we could router the edges so it's nice and soft like it looks like this, because that's just a piece of wood right there, that's not plastic. We could router the edges, router the corners so it looks softer, and then we could paint it to whatever color match. I'm not that kind of person, but y'all could color match it to the walls, and then we could attach that to the walls. That way it would protect that vital area where those kids' backpacks are hitting all the time. That's not something that's on here, because he and I talked about that recently, but, you know, if he does have that extra money, I think that's what he's proposing to do with it.
And the reason why I'm asking for it is because at some point in time, if we don't address that now, we're gonna end up having to replace all the walls with sheet rock, and it's gonna be a super high cost to replace all the walls. Then you might get into the electric and you might get into some damage, and I'd rather be proactive and put a stripping that could cover that and could take care of that instead of having to come up here one day and say, we need some walls replaced throughout the entire school in the hallways because it's the sheet rock, because the sheet rock is only, I don't know, ½ inch, ¼ inch, 1 inch. So that's what I'm asking for. And then whatever else I'm able to get, I like that to be allocated towards the renovation of the concession stands. That's it. That's all I have.
Mr. Arner, your
Yes, ma'am.
extra 10 grand that we have to, you want it toward the
Concession
football
stand.
concession stand, correct?
Yes. Yes.
I just want to make sure we have
Yes,
it on the
yes,
right
ma'am.
concession
Uh-huh.
stand, because y'all have it listed.
Yeah, because
Indoor and
we have
outdoor.
football concessions.
Got it.
And basketball concessions.
Got it.
So whatever, yes, sir.
Okay, so you're not considering the baseball. You're just doing football and basketball, not baseball.
Right, because I think we have more.
Or should we just call it concession stand remodel fund?
I would just say concession update, if you want to call it that.
Okay, so you want to take your 10 and add it to the 10 we already have allocated?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
So the 10 that's here?
Yeah.
That's already allocated?
Mhm.
That's going towards concession update. There's
Okay.
an additional 10, I like that to go towards the concession update as well.
well, let me throw you a curveball right here then.
Uh-huh.
What if you were to take 2,500 of that plus the 10,000 and recap your roads?
I
Like
don't have a problem with it, whatever.
I'm just thinking, you know, you could do concession stands and get your roads
I'm fine
and
with
do
that.
partial or a full of one of your concession stands.
I don't have I just want to stress that I don't have a individual or independent need in Ms. Jackson. We both have, it's the same road that we use, so whatever
Yeah.
allocation I can
See what
get,
I'm
I want
saying?
that to be to a
You said
joint
it was
project.
12.5 for the blacktop? So
Right.
you take 25 off of that, that'll give you 7,500. Take the 25, add it to that 10, that'll give you your 12.5 for your blacktop of that whole road.
I'm fine with that. However, we want to adjust the cost to get it done or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever we can do to maximize our allotted
That's what
funding,
I'm
that's
trying
what
to
I
do.
want to do. I'm fine with that.
That's what I'm trying to do for you.
But we're both benefiting the same,
Yeah.
from the same project at one time. Instead of duplicating the spending, we can
100%.
spend one time. Right,
Yeah,
right.
trying to
all
get
I
you
need.
fixed up.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Is that too confusing, or can you do that? Can we
No,
do that?
yeah,
Okay,
well said.
it's all money.
Right.
All right.
Because understand on the list, sometimes we're individual schools and there are individual allocations. However, we're on one campus. So I just want to make sure we,
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having them
Absolutely.
together on one campus, like
Absolutely.
Centerville is, like you are now. That's the beauty of that, right? We get
Yeah,
to share all those funds and make things better.
Yep.
And I know Mr. Ross is working the same issues. What's a security window covering that costs $5,000? Tell me what that is.
Window tint,
so from the road, you can see
Basically.
directly into the school.
and he has a lot of windows on the front, and it's just a
Yeah.
security issue with, people outside being able to see inside
Yeah.
the school.
The new renovation is all glass on the front and you can see
Yeah, I saw that,
inside
yeah.
from the
And you
road.
can see people walking around and,
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
like on the high school side, there's a security film that you can put on that is one way. So you can't
Gotcha.
see in from the outside, but you can see out from in. Right.
Yep.
And that was just a safety issue that we wanted to address. We didn't have the time, we couldn't do it when the project was initially done. So I think that's a safety issue that we want to address as soon as we can.
perfect. No, that sounds good.
I make a motion that we support junior high with the security window covering, the concession stands, and the asphalt. Am I correct? In addition to the 10,000, yes. All in favor?
Okay, I'm just writing, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Like that. Thank you all so much.
Okay, next on the agenda is B.E. Boudreaux. Combination marquee sign with West St. Mary. Approximate cost $100,000. Looking for a capital of 12.5. A desk mover dolly for custodians. Estimated cost $500. We're requesting $500. Resurface all-weather track. Cost is $340,000. We currently have about $120,000 towards this project, requesting another $40,000 to go towards that balance. Leaking roof in many areas throughout the building. Total roof replacement would be about $1.68 million. They would be responsible for half of that cost because it's West St. Mary and B.E. Boo under the same roof. And we're looking to get capital of $25,000. Treat and remove mold in the cafeteria, approximately $2,500. We're requesting $2,500.
Mr. Regard, you skipped over the exhaust fans.
Why am I skipping stuff?
I don't know, but
I don't have a ruler. It's in the restrooms. There they are.
That we discussed that with
Right.
Hazard and it needs to be done.
They currently have none.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
It needs to happen. Right. From the same school, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I see that report back over here.
My initial question would be, I know we had some capital last year that was allocated for the marquee. And I see 12,000, they're asking to be allocated this year. Is that gonna be carried over from last year? Is it included? So how, if it's added to last?
I'm looking at B capital projects. All I have is a play canopy. I do not have a marquee.
So I remember we had some conversation about it. Or around that, and the conversation came from the fact that we had figured out, or Franklin High and Franklin Junior High had figured out how to update the marquee at a fraction of the cost we had initially been proposed. So we had allocated the funding that was actually supposed to cover the whole cost of
This
whatever
year.
was gonna happen like this academic year. So, but I don't remember what those amounts were.
So what had happened, based on what you're saying, is it got put in maintenance last year and it didn't get done for whatever reason.
So I'm asking, where is that money? Oh,
And if so, we needed to reallocate it this year, if that's how you want to prioritize it.
So
So
how much
how
did we
much-
allocate
yeah.
last year?
I have last year's list. Thomas, did you bring it?
So
I
it looks
have
like
it
we
in
are
minutes or
funding the
something.
12.5 for you this year. And she's gonna have it
But so,
annotated.
but the
We're
real
saying
issue is
it
if
should
we
have been done
allocated
last
it
year.
it was
So if
already
you're gonna
allocated
fund
and we don't need to
12,000, I can put it somewhere else.
So what I'll do is I'll go pull my file from last year.
Uh-huh.
I'll get with Mr. Regard and we'll add that to your 12.5 and we'll get with you and see.
Okay.
But the concern is, I don't think we need to add it, because we had it all allocated last year. So in whatever amount was allocated last year, it was supposed to cover the cost. So, yeah, so we shouldn't have to reallocate it because it was already allocated. And it was supposed to be completed.
Correct, yes ma'am, that's the problem, we just didn't do it.
And so then we spent the money, but we didn't do it.
Do we have a clear picture of what we're doing? What exactly, what's the physical thing that's happening?
B.L. Bourgeois name is not on the marquee. So when we have visitors, they ask, where is your school?
Okay.
So
you have one marquee now.
We
need
have
to
one
add
marquee
another.
that says West St. Mary.
You follow what she's talking about?
Yes, sir, I do, but I'm gonna play ignorant here, okay? I wasn't aware of just repainting it. From what I was understanding they wanted was
We already
was a
had it
double-sided digital marquee, is what was expressed to me. Is that right?
I didn't hear what you said.
What was expressed to me was y'all wanted a double-sided digital marquee. You know, where you can program words and all that kind of stuff on it. That's what this is for. I'm not sure, I mean, just if we're just painting, you know, your school name on a marquee that already exists, obviously, it's not gonna cost $100,000.
Can I interject,
The
please?
marquee is
Okay,
up.
Ms. Rack, did you put $100,000 back on this list for this year?
No. Oh,
You
I
did
would
not.
I would never put,
You did not. Okay, so
I put
last
the-
year,
I put the marquee because
how much
it
last
was
year
never
did you
done.
get for that marquee? Do you recall?
I don't remember.
Because I
But
thought we
then-
had this all settled for the
We did.
marquee last year.
And whatever was allocated for Franklin High and Junior High, whatever that amount was, that they had figured out how to just add Franklin Junior High to one side, and then they would collaborate on what the wording running on the marquee would say. So whatever allocation we had given to Franklin High, we gave the same allocation to West St. Mary and B. Edward Boudreaux, and we were gonna do the same thing. One side, the side that faces the side that says B. Edward Boudreaux would say B. Edward Boudreaux, and the opposite side would say West St. Mary, and they would share. So whatever allocation we gave Franklin High, we also, and Junior High, we also gave to West St. Mary and BEB.
So that means we still have the funds, we just need to do the purchase.
Yes,
And if that's the case, she
So
can use
can
her
we
12.5 for something else.
yes.
Okay?
And I think that's exactly what she's saying, and it was allocated. Because I think someone even said something about putting it on top of each other. That was also a discussion. So, since we
Yeah.
cleared that up, to be clear, Ms. Braxton, you can go on and move forward because your money can be,
Okay, they have a question mark on concrete slab, already have. Do y'all have a question about that? Cause I was never asked.
All right, so currently, B. Boudreaux, West St. Mary, on the B. Boudreaux side, they have a concrete slab area already that is covered with a canopy. So kind of the question that we had was, what is that gonna be utilized for? And why do we need to put another one out there? Is there a necessary reason for it?
It was the extension that I
Okay, so
previously.
you wanna make it wider,
Yes.
is what you're requesting?
Yes, for the last 4 years, 5 years, the concrete extension, and under Ronnie Lewis, $5,000 was allocated towards that. I don't see that in capital.
That's why
I can go back to his emails. It was like 5,000. That should have been already in capital under his not presidency, Lord, under his principalship. I put 5,000, and I thought we did add something.
There's nothing in capital, so maybe that was another situation where we had it in maintenance and it didn't happen. I'll double check that with you. We have the funds in the budget, and we just need to spend them.
okay. Go ahead, Ms. Wright, I'm sorry.
For last year, since y'all want to get architects, I want to bring back up. We had we had the state sheriff do a security check in our building, and they told me I wanted to be locked down like Fort Knox. But if we're going to get prices for it, I think that would be great because we asked for the same thing last year as far as a sliding door, so our secretary could be able to see. Now, the difference is an exterior door that, well, is an exterior wall that we would have to break down to see. So I don't remember the price that was put on it last year, or if a price was put on it. But I know we did ask for that as well.
So there again, we probably would need an architect to do that. If it's gonna be on an exterior load-bearing wall, we'd have to have somebody really look
Correct.
to
Yes,
cut a
sir.
hole into something like that.
I just needed her to see, because once you walk in our school, we have the holding area. And she really can't see until they come in.
Do you have cameras?
It's the same.
Does she have, okay.
She has an entry camera with the buzz in.
So there is a camera,
But they have a,
there is a camera so you can identify
uh-huh.
good, bad, and button in, out, right?
Correct, they have a
Okay.
camera.
Until we get something back from an architect, if that's,
Mm.
if the camera
But it's
button
it's
thing
the same
isn't.
thing that y'all said y'all was gonna get an architect for. They have a camera. It's the same thing.
But that's an interior wall, not an
Mhm.
exterior wall.
Right. It's the same. It's the same situation.
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
I'm
I
Well,
saying.
understand.
it's not
Yeah.
exactly because every school in the district has the audio video cameras that buzz on the outside of the school. So everybody can see who's coming into their schools before they come in. The architect at Franklin Senior is where the kids come into the mall. There's no double entrance like on y'all's side. You know how when you walk through the front entrance, there's that vestibule that stops the big flow of traffic into
Yeah.
the main hallway.
Yeah.
You walk in and then you walk in again.
Mhm.
Where the kids come in there, that's what the architect's going to be for. Where there's no vestibule area where the main entrance is into the school on the
build a
front
wall.
under the bus canopy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, that's what the architect needs to be for. Not for a slide glass window.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Before they come in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember what Raintree has. I don't remember. I know when I worked at Morgan City Junior, I know we had a glass door as soon as we walked in that you wouldn't go into the school. We would address what we have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really I don't come to Raintree that much to remember.
So, Ms. Rack, your window would have to be on the outside of the building before you'd even walk in, kind of by where your buzzer is then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think we asked for an extension or something last year. We'll just ask for pricing. So since I've been asking for this slab the last few years, do y'all already have the same prices from last year? For the last few years? Okay. So we still coming back to that one, okay. And I didn't add it to this, but, Thomas, I know we've been going over it, the duct area in our building that we've been taping over. What is it going to cost to replace that?
Are we talking about in the mechanical rooms,
Yes.
the ducting?
Yes.
So that duct's been redone. We redid that on a work order.
Okay.
What had happened is it overpressurized and it blew the duct off the piece.
Uh-huh.
So that was redone on a work order. So that situation's been settled.
Okay, well,
The guys took care of that 3 weeks ago.
so I took pictures of the tape last week.
Okay, I'm gonna come get with you.
Yeah.
And I wanna see that area because they
Yeah.
told me it's been taken care of. Okay.
Yeah, so we still have the tape on duct tape.
Yes, and I think that's something we can take care of.
Okay. If we add the different allocations, if we had extra money, we usually have paint on here for maintenance. That's why I didn't add it under my request. But I don't see any painting the building for maintenance requests. So I would like to add paint.
Mr. Regard, you want to go with the standard $5,000 a summer allotment?
Yes, ma'am, that's about the minimum we can allot and get something substantial done.
And if that's standard, can I ask, it's not standard per school?
It's just standard throughout the district. If somebody's requesting painting, we normally start with $5,000.
Okay, so at this point moving forward, we have to ask for the painting. Okay.
And I think the only reason he's saying that is so we can capture it in this maintenance request budget that we're putting together with Ms. Voisin. and we can know if we have any extra money to do different things, right? And I think we want to capture that $5,000 a year is the only reason I think he's saying that. It's not an automatic. So
Oh, no,
next year,
I understand, but it was always allocated every year. That's why I didn't add it for mine. That's what I was saying. So I was kind of asking why wasn't it added this year? Because it did every other year.
Because it was a given, that's what she said.
Yeah.
It was a given. And I think that that's what you're saying too, from LaGrange and Braintree. That's, yeah, and I use that word, I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, to add it.
Let's also remember, we had the same person for 100 years, and now we have somebody new, so we're gonna give it a little grace. So if you need something, just say you need it, and we gonna see what we can do.
That what we're trying to do is figure out the money's here, and how if she needs to redistribute her money somewhere else, then she don't have to include that in her total amount. That's what you're trying to do, am I correct?
Yes, and I know y'all have to get back with me with a few things. Can I write down when are y'all gonna get back with me on that so I can know what I can add and take away?
So, Ms.
And,
Rack, we have $25,000, Ms. Elegy checked,
Uh-huh,
that has been set aside for your marquee.
uh-huh,
She said it's $25,000. She went back in and checked on that.
okay.
So if you want to take your 12.5 and move
Yes.
it to something else, you have
Yes.
$25,000 for a marquee.
Okay.
Okay, now.
And
if
then
you
what
wanna-
about
if
the
you-
slab?
I believe I saw a slab on that list with all the highlights, 50 by 50 something, unless I remember another school. So I would like to check. What's our line? The canopy. Oh, I think it says canopy slab, right? 50 by 50? Play canopy 50 by 50, yes. How much is that? Well, 10,000, 1725.
What do y'all see play canopy?
It's money that has been set aside for you.
Oh, it's for you.
It wasn't.
Okay, and how much? Not if we already have the 25. Yeah, yeah. So if I have 12,000 to spend and we're going to get the 10,000 and the marquee, I would like to go back and add the 12,005. But I would like to come back at least by tomorrow, since I know I have 12,000 to spend. Okay. That I didn't have.
No, the board has to approve it though, Ms. Rack.
Okay.
Where to allocate it tonight.
Correct.
So we need to just figure out where we're going.
Right. It would.
So.
I wouldn't have added the marquee and the concrete, knowing that I didn't have to continuously add it because it didn't get done. So that's what I'm saying. Right. So that's what I'm saying. I can't continuously add things that I didn't know that was already taken care of. So that's why I put these for priorities instead of anything else. Mm-hmm.
That we're looking at is the 10,000 cushion amount plus the 12.5 that was allocated for the marquee. That you're looking to figure out what is the next items of priority for allocation?
No, just 12.5.
Just 12.5.
Because the concrete, we said it's supposed to be done.
Okay.
Marquee is supposed to be done. So I'm not looking at those at all. But if we could improve our building with this $12,500, if approved, then I'd like to go back to my priority list, because these things would have been taken off.
But we can't approve them.
I said I have to go back. I have a running list on my computer. Y'all asked for top priorities. And my first year when I put too much, I got all no's. So, I try to improve every year with
So the recommendation would be that we allocate the blanket amount that we have, and as the head of the school, you have the option to prioritize the items that you didn't
Yes.
get to prioritize before today. So we can still allocate the money, because we have to allocate the funding. And then, considering you're moving some big ticket items, just stay within that budgeted amount and reallocate where you want it to go.
Okay.
So I'll put that in a motion.
Wait, so I need some clarification. That whole extra slab thing, I don't think was covered. No. So you, that's right. Some of that money, if you want that slab, is gonna, that money that you're saying that you have, that you do, still gonna have to go to that slab, because that slab is not something that's been taken into account already. That
Where is
extra slab
slab?
you
I
want,
don't even see
right?
that.
So just keep that in mind. And he has to get you a price on that.
And give me a price.
That's right. Okay.
So with the current allocations, did anybody do the numbers outside of the 12.5 that we would move?
So I have removing the whole marquee sign because that's been taken care of. We
And
have that, there was set aside in capital $5,000 for a concrete slab. Then Ms. Voisin has seen that there's also set aside in capital for concrete slab, $10,000, $17, and what you said, 75 cents, 25 cents, something like that, okay? And then we also, she added to her list that she would like $5,000 of painting, okay? And then Dr. Wilson has suggested we allow her some time to look at her 12,500 to figure out where she wants to prioritize that. Those are the notes that I have.
Yes, we want to allocate the
All right.
funding, but we want to give her the opportunity now that she knows that these other things have already, the funding is already allocated, so the priority list changes.
Right. And she needs to have the opportunity to go back to look at her list to see which things she would like to fund with the additional money or the money.
The
that she didn't
$12,500.
get, the 12,000.
Yes.
Okay, so. that's
And I
what-
present that in a motion.
All in favor? Any oppositions? None. Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Rapp. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, moving on, West St. Mary. Replace roofs, many leaks throughout the building. Again, that's a shared expense. Estimated cost is 1.68 million. I'm asking for 25 in capital to go towards that. West St. Mary BEB Marquee, again, it's 50% expense. Estimated cost $100,000, another 12.5 is what I'm requesting.
We can remove that.
That's 12.5 you got. Okay, resurface the track. Approximate cost is $340,000. Asking for a capital allocation of $40,000 to go towards that. Screen and varnish gym floor, approximately $5,500. Asking for half of that. Repaint the cafeteria in school colors. Oh, I'm sorry. Scratch those last two. I didn't mean to bring those up. Auto scrubber, $4,000, requesting $4,000. And that concludes the school.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long afternoon, and I want to say it's been run extremely well. Congratulations to those individuals that got allocated the things that they desire. Now, it's time for West St. Mary to get some things that we desire. So, I understand we came into $12,500, correct? All righty. And we all have some big ticket items on here. So, as far as priority is concerned, We have a 35,000. Let's go into security. We have a lighting and along sidewalk and road towards concession stand. It's $35,000. Yeah, it's a long road. It's a long, dark road, especially during extracurricular activities. But yes, but understand I don't have enough money for that, right? Just y'all just guide me. Let me know. We have 12.5 plus 10. Yes, I have 20. So I want to be practical about this. So with that being said, let's go back to replacing goals and composition gym with my $12,500. Like to use reallocate that 12,000 towards that, if it's possible. We going competition. Replace goals inside the competition gym.
Your basketball goes aside.
That's where you want to move your 12.5?
Yes, 12,000. I have 500 left, correct? It's, it's on the first page, ladies and gentlemen. Right underneath B. Boudreaux, Wesley Mary, I'm on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line.
We need to put numbers on these as they go down. Yeah, I got you. You got 500 left.
500. Very well. Now, you say I have 10.5, correct? Actually, initially you said 10.6, so it's 10.6 or 10,000? 10.6. So I actually, in actuality, I have $11,100. All right. So we want to transition those $11,100. You said you was tabling the enable hot water access con and stand com gym, correct? I'm underneath Board of Health. So did you table that? Did we table that, or it's still available? Yeah, I'm reprioritizing that monies. Those monies, that's $10,000. Let's move that there.
So can we do the same hot water situation that we just did at Franklin High for Franklin to come out or not?
I agree with you totally, because you came up with that brilliant idea. So let's save me some money. So you're not saying nothing to me right now. Let's save me some money.
Right. I'll have to look at accessibility from an electricity standpoint and so forth
Correct.
and so on.
For water, electricity in that one area, but it is possible.
So it's a possibility we can be revisiting these funds in the event it's a lot less than $10,000.
It'd have to be looked at from these two engineers that are here tonight.
I'm just saying, I'm just being hypothetical, so when I do communicate with Ms. Charpentier, I could let her know the options that will be presented tonight.
The money would be earmarked for this project.
Thank
And
you.
then if the project doesn't take all of that money, it will be sitting right there for your school to use it.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Now, as far as the rest of the monies, the $500, no, actually $600.
It's 1,100.
$1,100.
Yeah.
I am going to defer that to Ms. Charpentier to see how she want to allocate those $1,100. And also, Wesley Mary High School would like to request paint as well. And it's come from $10,000.
Yes.
It's not a bump up.
Right.
Now, if any one of these schools would like to donate that money to Wesley Mary, we will take that.
Mr. Campbell, we can buy $1,100 worth of paint, and y'all can use Upper Body Day for your team to paint, like the Franklin Senior Way.
Ma'am, I do agree with that. So can we allocate the $1,100 towards paint? Thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see if I can recap. All right, West St. Mary. We can scratch the marquee project, okay, because we have that handled. We are going to take the new basketball goals in the competition gym, and we're gonna put our $12,000 there so that we're able to complete that project. If you flip the page, enable hot water access in the concession stand and the competition gym, we are putting $10,000 there. If it ends up not costing as much as that, then we will still have that money there for West St. Mary to use. And then we have paint, $1,100.
And we're gonna put that in the motion of all the items that Dr. Sanders just read, in that order.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
The next school on the agenda is going to be Raintree Elementary. Replace electrical service in chiller yard. That's a $45,000 cost. We're requesting all $45,000. And a desk mover for the custodians at a cost of $500. We're requesting the $500.
Ms. Poe. I'll be short and sweet.
With the additional $10,000, I'm asking that we do the intercoms in the bathrooms, the chain link gates under the pavilion, and that leaves me with $3,500. I'd like to set that aside into capital to get enough money to build those concrete trenches that I've asked for the last 5 years. Yes. So I'd like $3,500 set aside until we have enough to do that, because our parking lot does not drain, and every year we have someone that falls and slips and all that good stuff.
Question, did we allocate anything to that last year?
We did not.
Those ditches and trenches, we didn't?
Yes, it's been on there but it wasn't allocated.
I remember we had somebody had mentioned,
Well, they came in,
unique way
what they
of-
did is they came with shovels and
Oh,
just
yeah.
dug a trench, but then after they cut grass a few times, it's
covers
filled
it.
up again.
Yeah, all right.
That's
So-
why I needed some good cement.
All right.
That's it. Or any question?
It'd probably be for Mr. Regard, though. Electrical service in the chiller yard panel, that school's not that old. What's going on with that electrical panel?
The panel box is completely rusted out. So we need to.
So we're just changing the panel box?
We need to pull all the wires out of it. We need to disconnect everything in order to replace those panels and all the guts. It rains in there. When it rains outside, it just pours in that panel box. So
Okay.
all those boxes have to be changed out with the guts, the interiors, everything.
How many panel boxes we talking?
How many back there? Okay.
And are we gonna do something to remediate the issue with the water getting into the panel boxes? Right. You see what I'm saying? If we just change the panel boxes, then we have the same problem again in the next 5 years.
So they're
Let's
rusting.
fix the problem.
They're rusting out on
the root
top.
cause, right?
They're rusting out on top. So what we started doing this year is all those that are either rusted out on top, we're either getting something fabricated to close it in.
Perfect.
But
That's
we're
what I
also,
wanna hear.
even if they're not rusted out on top, we're painting the tops of them and all now
Right.
to keep that from happening.
Adjust the root cause of these things rotting out and
Yes.
water getting at
So,
them, right?
I mean, we're not talking about like a 200 amp service. This is in their chiller yard over there. Which
So
is
it's three
outside.
phase, big
It's a
box?
big three-phase.
Okay.
600 amp panel, and that's what feeds their air conditioner, our controls that run the air conditioner, and they have a custodial shed on the side of that. And what we're wanting to do with that $45,000 also is come out of there and provide power so the custodians can have lights to that building. Right now, they have no
Oh,
power in
absolutely.
that building
Yeah.
at all.
And you got bids on that already, or you just kind of ballparked it and we hadn't got a contractor yet?
The electrician and I have been working together, and we're still trying to finalize some bids. But from the numbers that we've been seeing, that's about what it's gonna cost. We work with some local electrical companies on the panel itself, and we did a cost estimate on the labor.
Good.
Okay, so recap for Raintree. We are asking to set aside $3,500 for the trenches on line 1. We will add the $2,500 for the intercom costs in the restrooms under safety, as well as $4,000 for the chain link gates under the pavilion, which is also under safety.
And I will make that as a motion, as we just read from Dr. Sanders. Or heard, not read. Heard, read. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much, Ms. Cole. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, LaGrange Elementary is the next school. Desk mover dolly, $500, we're requesting $500. Auto scrubber, cost of $4,000, we're requesting the $4,000.
Good afternoon, y'all. So the auto scrubber would definitely not be a priority. In fact, while we're on that subject, when Mr. Craig Everett worked in maintenance, he mentioned to my head custodian that there was possibly an auto scrubber that was even used in another building, not being used. It don't have to be new and fancy, just, yeah.
So,
It assists in
it's-
cleaning the floor.
It looks like a Zamboni. It's that big blue thing that it puts chemical down, it scrubs it, and then vacuums up the water and everything behind it.
Where would you like to move that 4,000, Ms. Mouton?
Hold on, because I want to have a conversation about the security thing with the exterior doors, and I'm not certain that it would cost $36,000 because I'm not certain that the doors would need to be replaced. So all of our exterior doors, it's the old metal handle with that black bar in between. Our faculty parking lot, that door, if somebody just goes in and out without consciously pulling that door shut, it will stay unlocked. And as much as we address it with the employees, you know, every now and then it's like the door was left unlocked. So I don't know how that could be fixed. I know that we've put it on a work order before and they've come and, you know, messed with some things, but it continues to be a problem. In addition to that, we have the lockbox up front where there's, you know, supposed to be a master key for all of the doors. Those same doors in particular, and really all of the exterior doors on the upstairs and downstairs hallways, those keys are hit or miss. It honestly, if there was an emergency and somebody had to go in the lockbox and they could not enter from the front lobby, they probably could not use the key to get into one of those side doors. It's supposed to be keyed alike upstairs and down, and it's just not. And that we've asked for keys. I could have a stack of keys this thick, and they could all look the same. One will work and one won't.
So that's a common problem through a lot of these schools. Over the years, I don't know if it's the tumblers in there go bad or something like that, but oftentimes their master keys do not work. And we have rekeyed some schools this year, and that's what it sounds like they need. I mean, because I bet you sometimes your master key will work, but your grandmaster won't. So both of those keys should be able to open just about everything.
And our
But-
front lobby area, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the
No worries.
front lobby area is a different key than the side doors because we just added that recently. So if that door could also be keyed alike to all the exterior doors, that would be very convenient for safety reasons as well. So I don't know the cost on that. But
So you said we recently done one rekey to school, roughly that size, rough amount, to do something like that?
Just rekeyed.
A cost?
Just rekeyed Foster.
Okay, what was the cost on that?
I was, less than $1,000.
oh, shucks. I
It
should
was
have been
like
asked for that.
Well,
I should have been asked for that.
well, we rekey in-house. If I got somebody else to come and do it, it's $200 a door to rekey. But
Okay,
we
so-
have a key cutter
Count
now,
the doors
and
up.
we have somebody who can rekey.
Now, for that exterior door that goes out to the teacher's parking lot, can't we put a hydraulic auto closure at the top of that?
That might need to be what needs to be checked. It could be failed.
It might just need to be adjusted or check it and just replace the hydraulic auto close, and that problem solves 36 grand. Just saying.
Yeah.
Do we have a price in place at 36,000 to do that method?
So it doesn't sound like she needs all exterior doors, but there's one that's giving her a problem.
Right.
And with the
Even if we
rekey,
keyed alike, I still have a door that's not shutting correctly.
with the door that's not shut, and we can address it with a new or revamped
yeah.
hydraulic auto close on the
'Cause
top of the door.
We
to
have
where it
addressed it
closes when
before,
they
but
come in.
it doesn't stay fixed is the problem.
Mhm.
So
So why?
Change it.
Stay fixed, what's,
just the doors misaligned, old,
Yeah.
you know,
That sounds like a maintenance
Yeah.
item.
needs to be replaced, right?
that one door, not all exterior
Yeah, I
doors.
know,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. saying
Yeah.
the one that keeps getting misaligned.
Correct.
Needs to be replaced.
Correct.
And then you won't have that problem,
And
right?
that's-
Gotcha. That's what we want to do.
I'd have to get a cost in that single door.
And just to clarify, so if it says allotment, because some people on, it says allotment and it's highlighted, and some, it says allotment and it's not. So like, what's the difference?
I don't know why it's somewhere highlighted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Basically, that tells you that you've already got like, on the first page, BED has $120,000 in capital to resurface all the other traffic. So that's things that we set aside each year in capital and hold it until we're ready for the whole projects.
She's talking about the word allotment. The word, on some of them, the word itself, it says allotment, is highlighted.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
It's not the capital.
It says ceiling tiles and gym appear to be moldy, allotment $5,000, but then there's no money under maintenance
Right, like-
or capital.
Yeah. What does allotment mean?
It's a clerical errors.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, well, that was my question.
Because if it say allotment, it means it's there.
So the allotment means, like, if this has an allotment and there's no number in maintenance request or capital,
Correct, then it's not.
then allotment should not be there. If there is an allotment and there's a number under the maintenance request, that is saying that
It's
that
there.
may not be enough to complete the entire job, but it's enough to get a substantial completion and get the job started. So for example, if we were, like, going back to painting classrooms or something like that, if you wanted to repaint 6 classrooms and I gave you $5,000 as an allotment, or the board gave $5,000 as an allotment, I can't paint all those classrooms with $5,000, but I could paint maybe half of them for $5,000. So when you see allotment, it means we're gonna give you this much, and we're gonna go as far as we can with that dollar amount.
Okay, so
So it
where we
shouldn't
are
be
right
there.
now, rekey, we set aside $1,000, okay? And we're discussing these doors, and you're saying you don't need that automatic scrubber for 4,000. So we need to move on to what things we want to put in that place.
Okay, for the ceiling tiles in the gym, do we know if that's from like a leaky roof or under cafeteria, kitchen, board of health? The ceiling tiles in the gym. They're yucky looking. I don't know if it's mold or if it's just, I don't know. Oh, it's on our second page. Yeah, ceiling tiles.
Ceiling, yes. So that's the replacement cost to change all the ceiling tiles in that area.
Okay, so I gotta pay to just replace ceiling tiles in the school?
So here's the thing, every single thing y'all do with maintenance comes out of your district fund. So even if we don't have it on here, if you put it on a work order, it's still coming out of District 1 maintenance. That's why we need the money to sit there to get through the whole entire school year for all of your incidentals. Okay, so there's a giant rainstorm that comes through and things get wet and whatever, that money still comes out of District 1 maintenance. So if you're saying, so I have to use my money for this, it's still District
still
1.
okay.
Correct. So whether we put it here or not, that's where the money has to come out of.
Gotcha.
Okay, I don't know if that was really ever even explained to me when I was a principal, so I'm learning as we go, but that's
It
where the
still
money
comes out
is
of
for
District
all
1.
maintenance. It is in those maintenance districts, okay?
Okay. So should I put something like that on a work order? Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't mean to be so difficult, y'all. Okay, so where do I want to spend my money?
You can get back to us. I mean, you don't have to, don't rush through it.
Okay.
Don't rush through it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can I have the general allocation and then I can decide after? Okay, yeah.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right, so for Lagrange, we have removed the auto scrubber for $4,000, okay? We're gonna add $1,000 to do a rekey of the building, and we are gonna allocate $14,000 for Ms. Mouton to prioritize.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Mouton.
Okay, next school is Foster Elementary. Screen front entrance of school, this is a safety issue. Estimated cost is $5,000. We're requesting 25. Once again, we think we can do it for less than the estimated cost by utilizing some of our maintenance employees. Repair roof damage, sped rooms, 4 fifth grade hallways. Approximate cost is 15,000. We're asking for the 15,000. Pour new cement and additional teacher and visitor, add new window blinds to side windows in principal's office, approximately $500. We're asking for the $500. A desk mover from Dolly for the custodians, $500. We're requesting $500. Tent entrance on the inner doors for the front entrance. Estimated amount is $1,200. We're requesting the $1,200.
Good evening. Okay, I'm okay with what you're giving me. I really wish that I could have everything, but I need obviously some paint. So if I've been listening correctly to what everyone else is getting, if you buy us some paint, we could paint the walls ourselves? Is that, okay? Because we do need some, you know, we had a little painting issue, and that blue didn't come off the walls so well, so it's still at the bottom. Okay. Well, I guess I can get a portion and get a team.
Would 1,000 be enough for the walls you need to, from your vandalism?
Well, I need the whole back hallway, you know, because I looked at it today. I look at it every day. The blue at the bottom, you know, that's the only paint that he used that didn't clean well. Yeah. So. Okay, and then I was also thinking about the wood. We have some wood in the building, like I took a few pictures. And I think that is because we have some termite damage. So I think that I would like to have that if possible. The building to be treated, or whatever it is, to keep that wood from rotting and deteriorating.
Fifth line down, y'all,
Yeah.
under
To
Foster.
repair rotten wood. It's on the outside of the first and second grade hallway, and also in another area outside near the cafeteria.
Should we put that extra 10,000 to the 10,000 for the outside first and second grade hallway? Okay.
Okay. And that's pretty much it. I did have the fence around the school to kind of be covered because we found out when we were getting our new canopy. Thank you, by the way. we had to have the children on the front part of the school, and they're really close to the road, even though there's a fence, and they can see our children. So I'm thinking that for, safety and security. But I don't want to be difficult, so that's pretty much it.
She can set aside that for fifty events.
We hit the $10,000 cushion for Foster already with the wood repairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention pressure washing, so I need to have that because the school really needs to be pressure washed. Okay.
If we hire somebody to pressure wash, that's how much it costs. If we bring the pressure washer and the custodians pressure wash, then it doesn't cost that.
Okay, I would like that.
Well, he said that he had some high-powered pressure washers that I,
Yes, ma'am. We have 3 gas pressure washers that can absolutely do the job. They hired somebody to do it. Yeah, they used to sub it out.
but we do it in-house now.
Well, it saves us this saves the school $2,500. Yes, ma'am.
That it can be done in-house as opposed to contracting out.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Understood. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Okay,
That's everything?
okay, so I have taken note that we are gonna add to cover the cost of the $10,000 to repair the wood on the side of the school near the boiling room, outside first and second grade hallway. And then we're adding $1,000 for painting. And those are the only 2 changes that I have noted.
All right, I make the motion that we approve, as previously heard and read by Dr. Sanders.
All in, thank you, Dr. Wilson and Ms. Jones. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you so much, Dr. Stood, and go on, Mr. Gregor.
Okay, next we'll be looking at is Centerville. First item is to upgrade electrical service to guidance office. Estimated cost $15,000. We're requesting $15,000. Desk mover and dolly for custodial. Cost is $500. We're requesting $500. Tint the main entrance doors. Approximate cost of $1,200. We're requesting $1,200.
The capital project in there.
Capital projects to resurface all-weather track. We currently have a balance of $160,000. Total estimated cost is $340,000. We're requesting an additional $80,000. More football bleachers with concrete slab. Estimated cost is approximately $70,000. I'm sorry, the balance is $70,000. The approximate cost is $125,000, and we're requesting an additional $35,000 in capital.
Good evening. I'd like to request additionally to what he just announced, pressure washing the restrooms, pothole near the student parking lot, and sand underneath each swing, but I'd like to know where we're getting this sand from, because if it costs $4,500, it must be made out of gold.
The problem is we're having to use masonry sand. We can't use river sand. I mean, well, I say we can't. River sand comes with all kind of foreign objects in it and stuff like that. It's not a clean sand. The only sand that we can get that you can use for that, like playgrounds and stuff like that, is masonry sand.
Is there
So-
something against using dirt like a baseball, softball field would?
If you want to put dirt under it or rubber mulch, I mean, yeah, the sand is very expensive.
Okay, that's the 3 things. That's $9,500, so I'd like to bank the $500 extra. to a later time till I can think about it. Any questions? Good deal.
Mr. Ross, that's all you have?
All righty. Mr. Ross has chosen to add 2,500 for pressure, pothole near the student parking, $2,500, and sand on the playground, $4,500. And he's gonna bank $500.
I make the motion that we accept the recommendations that have just been read and heard by Dr. Sanders.
Thank you. All motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Ross, and your time. Thank you, Mr. Rizzo. Any further discussions at this time? Any questions or concerns at this time?
I'm not sure if I used my additional 10,000, but I know I did use 2,500, for the slide window. But I don't think I talked about the other 7,500. And if possible, if I could use that, can I use it for classroom desk?
Ms. Jackson, I have you 10 for the baseball field to add to the asphalt.
I moved something for that.
Oh, the hot
I moved
water
the hot
thing.
water for that. And Ms. Donna gave me the
2,500.
to finish that road, so I never used the other.
You're right. And we moved you 5,000 to your, for the pad. And we're doing 1,000 for the paint. So you're right.
For the
10,000.
the remaining for classroom desk.
Where is that on here?
It's under safety, the first one under safety.
So we need to amend.
Believe it or not, it does not buy as much as y'all think.
In classroom.
So you make the motion to amend the initial.
I made a motion to, amend the motion to.
And I second that.